现在已经上线了哈。嗯哼。Okay. So now we just do a very quick test of the audio of the session because in the past 2 weeks there's some slight malfunction of the audio. 有声音是吧？ Okay, so I think now everyone can hear me, hopefully. And it's time to start up the whereby. Okay, now I see something again to test the audio. Hopefully everybody can hear me, especially people from YouTube. Perfect. So hopefully this time there's no any malfunction during this live stream. Okay, so just another quick test. So I speak again, make sure that everybody can hear me, especially people from YouTube. All right. So let's start the session now. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session, Mindiverse Meditation session. It can be similar to other people's session. It can be very different from other sessions because I don't know. I have never attended other people's session. Whether it's same or not, it doesn't matter. We can say it's the same, it's similar. We can say it's different. But it's only the verbalization that leads to all kinds of views. Views means something extreme, something misleading, right? It's tricky to speak. Speaking is only one form. There's nothing right or wrong about speaking, verbalization. But if we don't turn inward to understand, because special or not special, it's also only a view. Since the very beginning of the session, which started in 2018, and up to now, this is the 100th session of all time. It sounds special because I talk about it for the number of 100. But is 100 really special? No, really, right? But it seems that people like some numbers, prefer some numbers to others. 10, 100, 50. You see, our consciousness has created a lot of things which are called special. Everything that we are giving attention to is special, is it? But if we are not aware of this whole process, that very action to give attention, to make things special, in return, in reverse, distorts the mind. Because subconsciously, we begin to think those things which are called special, important. Then the importance implies the attachment to this thought. So, as usual, let's quieten the mind first before we continue the exploration together. So in these 4 minutes, you can focus on the breath. You can also reflect how many moments of the day you were not present. Don't criticize yourself, just notice it. The very awareness of this fact is the key. There's a Greek motto, know thyself. It's been more than 2,000 years. Up to now, for those people who are living on this planet at this moment, how many of them really know themselves? People may ask, why do I have to know myself? There's no point to ask, because you can choose to know yourself. You can choose not. Especially in this time, in this age, the internet, computer, the information explosion boosted by the internet. Therefore, all kinds of entertainment programs are being produced to entertain more people, to entertain those who choose not to understand themselves. It is a world fraught with entertainment, which forms a harbor for many people to take refuge in. To isolate themselves from the facts. Hopefully find some support from thoughts to continue the illusion, to continue a reality where the life can be going on. What is called entertainment? What is entertainment? Why do we need entertainment? Entertainment means pleasure, right? Means pleasure from thoughts. Look at the entertainment programs across the globe. How many of them are not built on verse? Watching a talk show a movie, TV series, series, or all kinds of drama, novels. This whole entertainment industry is based on thoughts in the hope of giving people pleasure. Why do we need entertainment? Why do we need this pleasure? Is life too boring? Is life too miserable? Probably yes. For many people, right? The real world is a very, very different, even opposite to people can find from the entertainment programs. In the day, people struggle in the office, in the daily grind. In the evening, people seek comfort from the entertainment program. In the day, people get bored. So, people are seeking to fill the emptiness of the mind by resorting to entertainment. I guess many people can feel that even you spend a few hours in the evening to watch some sort of entertainment programs, the mind is never clear. We just use some thoughts which hopefully can bring some pleasure to wash away the thoughts that we are suffering from. So, the entertainment is also part of this struggle of life. Nowadays, the computer has taken over a lot of jobs, making people free, which means has nothing to do. The fun of doing things is gone. When people has nothing to do, the trouble in mind begins. All kinds of craving, all kinds of desires. Look at the development of these developed countries, the wealthy world. Will entertainment solve the issue? Solve all kinds of mental challenges, people? Can we really depend on entertainment for peace and calm? It only delay the process of knowing the self. Thanks to entertainment, it is more urgent now to know the self than ever. When the mind is blown away by all kinds of thoughts, all kinds of entertainment programs, the suffering is there, unavoidable. This extremity may create a space for people. Look within. To understand what is going on in the mind, why the mind has been so chaotic. So maybe the entertainment also speed up the process of turning inward. It may delay, it may speed up. We don't know. There seem to be many ways to understand ourselves. But that's only one way, actually. Turning inward. Which is the simplest way also. But challenged by so many different distractions created by human beings. The way to meditate actually is the way to go through all kinds of distractions by understanding the whole structure of the distraction, the whole structure of thoughts, the whole structure of the mind. For each individual, when we call ourselves individual, it must be complete. Means that the individual is understanding the totality of the mind. It's complete. It's not fragmented by thoughts. What we mean individuality nowadays is not the individual we mean here. Being an individual means being a whole person. A whole person. Without knowing the self, there's no point. It is not possible to be an individual. Without knowing the self, there's no possibility have an order in life. Without knowing the self, there's only disorder in all kinds of forms. Without knowing the self, we don't understand what is love, what is compassion, what is true peace. So we can see the whole process of understanding ourselves is meditation. As we have said a few times in the previous sessions, how to do meditate shouldn't be a question you can ask. When one really understands what meditation is, one never asks how to meditate, because knowing the essence of meditation is sufficient to help one to find one's own way to meditate. That's why for each session we have had, we are always focused on what meditation is. If one understands this, any form one is going for is meditation. Yoga, reading, walking, running, swimming, even hiking, even talking to people can be a form of practice meditation. But if one doesn't know what meditation is. Even the breath meditation can be a very misleading form for one. And unfortunately, when it comes to mindfulness practice, too many people are attached to the form of the practice without understanding deeply what meditation is. Then the very form of breath meditation or any other similar forms can be very disastrous. It is not difficult to understand this part, right? Because most people are seeking solutions rather than understanding why, what is. We only limit our mind to a small region on the brain. Hopefully, we can find a solution to drag ourselves out of this small region. So the solution is always temporary. So for most people, life is a process of seeking all kinds of solutions. But meditation is to see the totality of the mind, to see why people are seeking solutions. When people really see the totality of the mind, people never seek solutions. The very seeing what is a solution. People's mind is always petty. What does petty means? Petty means the mind is always limited to a small region. The attachment to that small region makes people over-focus on the details, petty.
Hey.
Meditation is to be subtle. Not petty, but subtle in a quiet way. Very quiet. The mind has to be quiet, but also very subtle. It means that the mind can go into small places without being trapped by the small places. This kind of mind is full of energy, right? This mind is real flexibility. With seeing the totality of the mind, we can go very subtle without being trapped by the details. This whole process gives people the insight into the mind. But look at the whole world. Well, most people are trapped by the details. Being trapped means being divided. Being divided by thoughts. To meditate is to end this division. The fundamental division is the boundary of the self and the world. Most people are confined to the self, the concept, thoughts, neuron paths, a region on the mind. This region might not be imaginable, but it's still a region. Maybe it still spreads across the brain, but it's still a region. The very attachment to the self creates the fundamental conflict of all kinds of mental challenges. Knowing the self means to deeply understand the whole structure of the self, the concept of self, and its consequence, which means that people have to feel it, to feel the pain of the self, feel the disorder created by the self. Great. It's time to take a break now. We have kept exploring the mind for about half an hour. It's time to meditate. Quieten the mind by resorting to the form breath meditation. With the understanding of what meditation is, let's use this form to meditate, letting go of the thoughts. Watch it without being identifying with it. Watch it without being an observer. Watching it by coming back to the breath. Thoughts can be only be aware of, not to be ruminated. So keep your alertness during the practice. Nothing really matters. Thoughts are in any way unimportant psychologically. after session, after this 10 minutes meditation, audio guide, let's come back again to continue the discussion. Now, let's take a 10-minute meditation. Start by taking a moment to find a comfortable position to sit in a posture that you feel relaxed and get alert. Let hands rest on your knees or laps. Let the eyes close gently. Soften your forehead. Act a soft smile in the corner of your lips. Breathe naturally. As you breathe in, be aware that you are breathing in. Feel the sensation of breathing in. The region can be the nostrils, can be the belly, can be anywhere. Focus on the part you feel most. As you breathe out, be aware that you are breathing out. Feel the sensation of breathing out. The region can be the nostrils, can be the belly, can be anywhere. Focus on the part you feel most. Fix your attention on the breath. Let go of any thought, words, images. This moment, nothing is more important than breath. While you are listening to the bell, check where your attention is. If it wasn't on the breath, after the bell, gently invite your attention back to the breath. and sustain your attention on the breath. Slowly bring your awareness back to this room. Feel into your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. When you are ready, open your eyes. What is the mind in peace? What is a peaceful mind? A mind which is free from the seeking is a peaceful mind. The very action to seek lays the foundation of all kinds of havoc on this planet. You know it. Everyone knows it. The seeking not only creates the chaos in yourself, but also creating the havoc on others. A mind who is always seeking is not peaceful at all. The mind which is seeking pleasure is seeking a very short period of silence, stillness between two thoughts. What does seeking mean? Seeking implies controlling, implies desire, wanting, craving. The seeker is the seeked. The seeker is the self. The seeked is also the self. Self-confidence, all kinds of self-stuff. Fame, all kinds of vanity. The ego stuff. So the very action to seek creates the center, which is also the self. The self is the consequence of all kinds of thoughts, illusions, right? Like the identity, all kinds of labels, all kinds of achievement, which are merely thoughts. It's like a peaceful lake when the mind is peaceful. Like water, it's just peaceful. But if the water is seeking the water, there's a disturbance within the water. It's like we use a sword, hopefully to split the water into two halves. That's what we are all doing for the human beings, right? Creating the self. Creating the self is just like splitting the water into halves. But what's the real result? The water won't be separated. The water is always together. But the very action to split creates what? The turbulence in the water. So the seeking, actually is the way to divide the mind. But you know that the mind is always total, whole. Like water, which is inseparable. So we create all kinds of concepts to divide the mind. The result is that the mind is not divided, but the mind is deeply disturbed. Look at the society enforcing all kinds of rules. Why the society is fraught with intimidation? Because the law itself is intimidating people. It's part of life. The law itself has all kinds of subtle rules. We call this the outside stuff. Try to control the inside stuff, the mind. But unfortunately, the inside always wins over the outside. That's the violence. That's the conflict. That's the turbulence. It's not to deny the law. But you know that there are so many nonsense laws there, rules there, right? When the law is designed based on nature mind, that very law is helping the society. But look at the law around us. They just try to make people conform to some forms. Bob?
Sorry, I don't understand. You said the society mind. Can you? I forgot the sentence. Is at peace. I cannot remember. Sorry, it was the sentence before the last one.
That's difficult for me. I also forget. Anyway, let's try to recall it. So, there are so many laws. which are not based on the nature of mind. It's just some kind of projection of a small group of people, their desire to, or their illusion about creating some kind of a structure for the society. And in the hope that this stuff can change people to make people conform to something. But everyone knows, if everyone looks within, no matter whatever the law is like, I mean, in terms of forms, the inner side couldn't be overcome. In reverse, the inner side, the mind, always overcome the outside. So it means that the mind, the disturbance of the mind reflects these conflicts between the totality of the mind and the form enforced by the law and anything outside. The very people want to conform to all kinds of rules only leads to the sufferings. So, yeah, Bob?
Thank you for your explanation.
You're welcome, Bob. So, the society never lacks intimidation, because these sort of rules themselves is a reflection of the intimidation on a deeper level. The outside form tries to control the inner form, which is intimidation.
Subtle forms. Could you, for instance, mean that that you need, as an example, that you need to read between the lines to understand or to properly, mention the law? While if you're looking at it from a very factual point of view, that's a different kind of level. The first one is more subtle. The second one is more literal, factual, and the first one is the one, which would be better, I think, for your own sake.
So the subtlety of the law, if you can see, or the rules, can be exemplified by, well, one has to read between the lines to understand what does it imply.
And that creates further conflict within yourself, and therefore, as you mentioned, it creates it's kind of an enforcement of something on the inner self, right?
Yes.
It keeps you busy, and you need to think and to rethink and to think again, and to fully grasp it. And this is what the apparently the rules are meant to be that you are really internalizing the rules and that you're controlled by the rules.
Exactly. That's that's the distortion, right? Enforced on the mind. And everyone knows that. You know that. That the mind is very robust. The mind is never subjected. It's never subjected to this. So the consequence is that the mind is disturbed. The mind is resistant to it. And if one has to control the mind to internalize this part, I think everyone knows that how challenging it is. This kind of enforcement is not a form of intimidation.
Sorry, I'm lost on that last one that you mentioned. It's not a kind of intimidation, right? Why?
It is intimidation. It is. That's what I mean. It's not. I mean, it is the intimidation. Make you scared. Make you fear. Make you react to the thoughts. That's why we need to understand the self. Not simply conform yourself to the law, to the rules. If you understand yourself, if you walk out of thoughts, you are at peace. You are compassionate. You are full of love. So to speak, you are moral. This morality means that you couldn't be wrong. Then you conform to the nature of mind, no to the law, anything outside, any kind of petty rules, and you are free. The free people is the people who is really compassionate. The free people who is really beyond the thoughts. A life with freedom is a life with the understanding of the self. And when we know the self, we know what is really good, what is really bad, what is really proper, what is really improper. Not according to some rules, but based on the nature of the mind. So that's all the content of today's exploration with everyone here via YouTube. We talk about knowing the self, peaceful mind. And from there, we talk about the conformity, distortion of the mind. We talk about the foundation of the intimidation. It is up to everyone to feel it, not simply listen to what I said, which must be very misleading. Until you see your mind, see the nature of it, you will have your understanding of it, your expression of it. I hope you can express it to tell more people, to invite more people to join you to turn inward, to see the facts. The very way to see the facts is very beautiful, very beautiful, very joyful. It's very entertaining, truly entertaining. For most people, they just get trapped by the all kinds of entertainment programs. But watching the chaos of this world is the greatest entertainment ever. To watch this whole process of it itself is really entertaining. Watching the life itself in this way is the joy. It's the real joy. It is more entertaining than any entertainment programs. Unfortunately, we need to do a lot to spread this truth. The world is always very loud. Being loud sounds true, but actually, being loud is always false. All kinds of things boosting around. The truth is always silent. But for each of us who is turning inward, how can we make the silence loud? I think it can be a task for each of us to find the ways to spread the facts and truth, to make the silence loud enough to be heard. So, any other comments or words we want to add to the session?
Apparently, I'm the only one who can react.
That's true.
So on behalf of everyone, I think, for me at least, it is a very true and insightful session that we had. So I want to thank you for that, and I will let it sink for a while and think it over. And I think this is very valuable, what you just mentioned.
Thank you, Bob. I don't think you need to thank me. You need to thank yourself to turn inward, to see the facts. Everybody needs to think themselves here by turning inward, because that's the only way to understand this part. It seems that I play a role, but actually I didn't at all. If you don't turn inward, you won't understand anything. You wouldn't have understood anything. So let's be grateful to ourselves for each the self who choose to turn inward to end the self. This journey is only to the outer appearance, but it's super rich, you know that, from within. This rich journey is the beauty, is the true beauty of life. When you're part of nature, that's the beauty. And I really hope everyone lives the life with such a beauty at each moment. And I hope each of us could share this beauty with more people. Your friends, your families, everyone. The very way of you enjoying the beauty is probably the best way to spread the beauty. Is it? Great. It's time to say goodbye again. Each session has a beginning, has an end. But we know that this rich journey never ends. So again, thank you for everyone. Thank everyone for being here tonight, still giving the attention to the mind. We examine it together. Explore it together. And let's keep doing this. So I think this is the last session of this week. And there's still 4 days ahead. And I hope everyone has a good day. Enjoy each day. And hopefully we can see each other again in the future sessions. And I also hope that the lockdown period can end soon, so we can return to the the venue to organize the offline session. To be honest, this session in Sweden has been lasted for about nearly 4 months, but I still miss the atmosphere of giving a session offline, so we can see each other, we can meet each other. But anyway, it might be a design now, so let's just put it away for a while. Okay, I think today I'm a little wordy. So, okay, the last sentence. Take care.
Take care, Cico, and everyone. And be calm and peaceful. And take care of yourself. Bye.
Bye, everyone.